sensors to measure energy and water utilization and greenhouse gases at each of our campuses, particularly in our new buildings. We have a web-based smart building sensor system to control energy and water usage, again, and greenhouse gas. You'll hear those three phrases consistently here for all of our buildings. And then in the project that we just completed, the 24 new buildings, we were a little bit ahead of the curve in terms of trying to get into the green building model, but we've used LEED certification standards in siting our buildings and how they were aligned vis-a-vis the sun, in energy efficiencies built into the buildings. For example, we have libraries that have shutters that will close as the sun crosses the horizon, and in terms of interior finishes so that there are no noxious materials that are used that would affect our employees and students within. The data collection is the next third area that we have built into our strategic initiative. I mentioned already working with the Texas A&M University. They have a subunit called Energy Systems Laboratory. With them, we have developed forecasting models similar to what Mary mentioned that's being done in Houston, so we can really identify where we have opportunities to reduce further energy consumption, water consumption in each of our buildings. And we have what's called a continuous commissioning process that allows us to go back into our buildings after they've been completed and continue to check and evaluate the extent to which our systems are, in fact, reducing our utilization and costs. Starting, as I mentioned, John, with his leadership in 2002, we began making additional investments, not only the investments we've made it in the construction and refurbishing projects, that's just a whole separate thing, but standalone investments of $3 million beginning in 2002. We've now already recovered $4 million, so we're already well into the saving momentum that was meant. And the one I'm most particularly proud of is in terms of nitrous oxide and CO2 savings, we've saved 71 tons of noxious fumes during that period of time. So we're making really great progress. And, excuse me, ACOG, which is the Alamo Area Council of Governments, thank you. Alamo Area Council of Governments just awarded us a Clean Air Award specifically for Palo Alto College for the work that we're doing in this area. San Antonio, like so many cities, continuously has to deal with the issue of air quality. Although we've been able to stay above the cutoff point, although we're concerned as those cutoff points continue to drop, that's going to continue to provide challenges for us. The other area that I'm really most enthused about is our academic efforts. At St. Philip's College, the college I mentioned is HBCU, and don't stop me now because I'm on a roll. I'm getting a sign saying time. Let me just wrap up because I think this is the most exciting. We are doing a number of things to establish a center of excellence in math science and alternative energies. We've just refurbished how many hundreds of thousands of square feet for the new labs and everything? 70,000 square feet. We just got a grant, $3 million grant to put a 400 kilowatt, a solar array on the roof. We are also negotiating with another firm that will place a 500 kilowatt solar array also on that roof. We've got a lot of roof space here. And so we will actually have the largest solar array in the state of Texas in just the next several months. The first solar array in phase 1 will also be used as part of the Center of Excellence for Alternative Energy. So we're setting up the opportunities for green jobs training, as I mentioned earlier with the Mayor's Commission on Green Jobs. The second thing we're doing with the combination of the city and a number of other organizations, including CPS Energy and SAWS, our water system, is the Mission Verde Center. I mentioned that a minute ago. We've taken a former school from the San Antonio Independent School District. We've turned that into a neighborhood-based center for community to learn about utilizing alternative energy systems and getting training in green jobs area, and the Alamo Colleges is providing the training at that center. We're also installing wind turbines at St. Philip's College, which will help as well. So results to date, community partner in leading efforts to not only conserve at the colleges, but also to create educational systems and training systems for green jobs. Establishing the Mission Verde Center, the Center for Excellent Math Science and Alternative Energies, using LEED building guidelines in our CIP program, smart sensors to measure, monitor, and control energy and water usage, recycling of materials and water, transitioning to electric vehicles and equipment. I didn't mention that, I don't think. The installation of the solar panels, so we'll have the largest solar array in the state, and then the $3 million investment that's already returned $4 million, and the savings.
Also in California. But New Jersey came along, and they also have some attractive incentives. And so last year, I want to say in November, our FedEx ground operating company launched what is now the largest rooftop PV system in the nation today. So, you know, outdo ourselves. So that is a 2.4 megawatt system and operates on our New Jersey hub. One of the things that was a change in our thinking from 2005 to 2009, we purchased the Oakland system. This system, we entered into a power purchase agreement with a developer. So essentially, a third party installs and owns the system, and we enter into a long-term agreement with them to buy energy from them. That fits better with some of our models because while we have upwards of 3,000 facilities, really more than that if you talk about the ones offshore, a great majority of the facilities we do not own. So since we lease them, that complicates the financial model, and so some of these technologies don't lend themselves well to that. But today we have 4 on-site solar installations operating. And another one that will come online in Cologne, Germany. We're not limiting our focus to the U.S., and that will be a total of about 5 megawatts of on-site generation. We do deploy other technologies where they make business sense for us. This is a facility in Switzerland, and it's a geothermal facility, which is a series of piping systems that allow us to take advantage of the Earth's natural temperatures, right? So in the wintertime, it helps us warm the air in the building. In the summertime, it helps us cool the air in the building. So it reduces our dependency on natural gas to heat the buildings, on refrigerants to cool the building, and so it reduces our overall costs. This is our first step into a green roof in our Chicago facility, another regional hub for us in FedEx Express. We really installed and launched in March or April of this year, our first green roof installation. If you're familiar with the Chicago area, one of the things that they're concerned about is the kind of urban heat island, and that's talked about in the sense of the concrete jungle that exacerbates your heat retention in an area. You change your runoff patterns, and just human activity of HVACs and vehicles and all the industry in an urban area. So one of the things that the Chicago mayor and the airport and FedEx partnered to do was to install the largest green roof installation at any airport. It is on these 3 buildings that you see in the graphic, and really it's about 155,000 square feet. Which is about 5 football fields of materials, about 2,000 cubic yards of low maintenance, drought-resistant plant life that will lower our air conditioning costs in those buildings, will change the runoff of those areas, which is important really like even to the wastewater treatment systems in that area, because you have a heavy rainfall, they have a surge of influx of flow. And so systems like this can capture or absorb about 50 or 60% of the rainfall, and then it doesn't hold all of that. It holds a substantial part of that, but some of that has to be released, but it can be moderated